Hello, Shemai. Shida chi, Pranav da. Hello and good afternoon to you, everybody. Well, welcome. Welcome to the last, as far as I know, the last live Zoom lesson before Easter. And those of us get to do it. How about that? Now, bit of a coincidence today because it's the last one before Easter. So, two things, Easter and we're doing it's Welsh month. So, can you remember, if you have a look at Dosbarth's webpage, we have a little bag, a little Welsh bag, and we say round and round, down and out, up and down, and we see what's in the bag. What's in the bag? Okay, well, because it's Easter, we've got this little Easter egg. Okay, it's a little blue egg. That will come apparent in the story we're going to tell in a moment. And there's something else in there which will come out in a moment. That's also a surprise. Now, today's story is a very Welsh story. It's Megan, lovely Welsh name, and the baby dragon. Okay, Megan and the baby dragon. And this is a story put together by the Sports Council of Wales. So there's lots of activities for everybody to do here. This is for every class in the school can do some. But I'll just talk about that at the end of the lesson for those people who want to join in. Now, I'm going to go back down to my bag. And there was something else in here. I think there was. Hang on. Look at that. It's a baby dragon. Hello. Hello. Okay, he's going to sit here, and then I've got my big storybook here, but just to make it a little bit easier for me today, I'm just going to read it from a little small book here. Okay, are you sitting comfortably? Megan and the baby dragon. Megan was helping her dad tidy up the garage. She was crawling in and out of the boxes when she found a large, dusty, blue egg. Wow, what's this? Thought Megan, and she popped it in her pocket. She goes in the garage. Later, at bedtime, she was brushing her teeth. She heard a loud tapping noise. It was coming from the egg. The egg rolled and wobbled. It rolled and wobbled. And it rolled some more. Megan ran. She had to run across the room and she caught it. She bent down and gently placed the egg on the floor. Suddenly, she heard a loud crack and a tiny red hand punched through the shell. It shook. Oh, and it stretched. And it stretched and it shook. It was a baby dragon. Megan lifted her hand to touch the dragon. The dragon lifted his hand as well. Megan poked her tongue out. The dragon copied her. In fact, everything Megan did, the dragon did the same. We call that intensive interaction, by the way, in class. By now, it was late and Megan felt tired. She yawned and stretched. The dragon stretched and yawned, and she curled up and closed her eyes to show the dragon it was bedtime. Good night, she whispered. The dragon closed his eyes and curled up as well. That's not the end of the story, by the way. Okay. Megan took one last peek at the baby dragon. She fell asleep wondering what her new friend would eat for breakfast. and what her mum would say about having a dragon living in the house. The next morning, Megan jumped out of bed. Where's my dragon? She wondered. It was already awake and exploring her slippers. Megan slid him out of his slippers and put them on herself. The dragon copied as she balanced one foot on front of the other, and it lost its balance and it fell over. Well, giggling, Megan scooped it up and put it in her pocket for safe keeping. The dragon wriggled and wiggled and wiggled and wriggled all through breakfast. Megan sat very straight and very still. Very straight and very still, hoping that her mother wouldn't discover her new friend. After breakfast, they went out to play. Megan put the dragon in a doll's pram and pushed it to the bottom of the garden. Then she picked the dragon up and placed it on the lawn. The dragon jumped in fright as its feet touched the cold, wet grass. It fell as it landed, rolling like a log down the slope towards the compost heap. Megan gently pulled the dragon back onto its feet. There we go. Anyway, here we go. They start to play now. So Megan and the dragon played happily together. The dragon copied Megan, and Megan copied the dragon. They walked, they ran, they stretched, they bending, they're moving forwards, they're moving backwards, they're moving sideways, they're moving quickly, they're moving slowly. When they jumped, the dragon jumped. And always when you jump, remember, bend your knees when you land. You won't hurt yourself. The dragon began to swish and swoosh and swish its tail. Megan looked behind her. She shrugged her shoulders and she wiggled her bottom. Please don't try this at home. Well, you can't if you want. Megan noticed that they were very different. The dragon had a long, strong tail, a scaly back, and wings. I wonder, thought Megan to herself. Megan ran around flapping her arms, hoping the dragon would copy her. It did. The dragon flapped slowly at first, slowly, then faster and faster and faster, and taking a giant leap. It was flying. I can see a flying dragon. Ooh, look, there's another one here, flying around the room. Goodness me. Megan ran as fast as she could to the garden wall. Climbing carefully, she watched in amazement as the dragon circled and swooped and swooped and circled. There's one there doing if I can see it. Let's count the movements. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Swooped, circled, circled, and swooped. The dragon was heading towards the mountains. It waved. But by now, it's a small little dot in the distance. Feeling sad, Megan walked slowly back to the house. She did not know if she'd ever see the dragon again. She was very sad. But that's not the end of the story. Ha ha, ha ha ha. That night, just as Megan was curling up in bed, there was a tap, tap, tap on the window. You're back, shouted Megan. They hugged and they danced and they danced and they hugged. And they fell asleep wondering what adventures they were going to do tomorrow. That's the end of the story. But now there's activities there for everyone because I've had to write all of these down. It doesn't matter which class you're in, there's activities we can do. Start off with, we can crawl. So we can go from the standing to the floor and crawl. We know lots of people who can crawl, make the most of our crawling. We can run, we can walk slowly, We can walk slowly with help, or we can do some more crawling, or we can have someone to help move our feet back and forth, wiggle, 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 wiggle with our feet. The next thing we do is lots of stretching. Now, some of us can stand and do big stretches, and some of us, we haven't got to do big stretches. We can do little finger stretches just to help stretch our fingers, stretch our hands, stretch our arms, stretch our neck, sitting up straight. Or even if we have someone to help us, we can stretch our little toes. If our toes are all a bit tight and curled up, we can just have someone to help us with our toes. I did say we have to sit up straight. Very important to sit up straight. Let me have a look. Yes. Have we got some straight sitters? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's good. When we're out in the playground next week, because we're all coming back to school next week, I can think of some classes of the children who can walk slowly, they can walk quickly, and then they can start running. But all classes, if all classes are children, if we can help, or you can do it by yourself. We can move forwards, we can move backwards, we can move to the left, to the right. Okay, so sideways, forwards, backwards, arms, legs, up and down. How's that? Yeah, everybody okay with that? Now, when I said about sitting still, the other thing we did was the wiggle. I think she wiggled. The dragon wiggled. Megan wriggled. And if you can do it like one young lady up the top there, we can wriggle and wiggle and giggle all at the same time. Wiggle and wriggle and giggle. There we go. So that's a lovely exercise for us all to do next week. And what have we got? We've got flapping arms. Flapping arms. Have we got flapping arms? With your arms flap. Oh, not too fast. You don't want to take off. One arm at a time. One arm, the other arm is going. Anybody starting to fly? Yes, no, okay. And then we have to slow down. Remember, Megan did everything nice and slowly. At first, when she was trying to get the dragon to fly, it was slow. A little bit faster, a little bit faster, and a little bit faster, and then away he goes. Okay, so there's lots of exercises there every class can do. Now, if you need to, my class, come and see us next week. We've got lots of these little books to share, or you can have a look on the YouTube channel. Have a look on YouTube, Megan and the Baby Dragon, and there's a lovely PowerPoint. Just go YouTube, Megan and Baby Dragon. There's a PowerPoint with the story in it, and it'll help you go through all those little points which we just talked about there. Okay, and I think that is, oh, one other thing, we have to practice our face. She was sad. She was happy. Oh, because she came back. So we got sad face and happy face. Okay, that's fabulous. Now, I don't know if anybody can remember, but in school, we're looking forward to seeing you all back next week. The topic for the term, Cymru, that's it, Cymru and Hyd, Wales is magic. Last little bit of magic for you, tying in with our story. Here's our book, Megan and the Baby Dragon. Can you remember when it goes into the bag? We go round and round, round and round, up and down, round and round. Keep looking at the book, keep looking at the book, round and round, up and down. And it's turned into Welsh. Megan a Wraig Fach. What's the chances of that? Now, would you like me to read to you the story again in Welsh? Oh, sorry. Jess is signaling up there, we don't have time. Oh, never mind, maybe next time we'll do that. So I'm just going to say thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. There's lots of exercises for you to do there. If you have any problems, come and see us in Dosbarth First, and we will help you. And we look forward to seeing you in school, hopefully next week. Take care, everybody. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for joining in. Steve's gone on his way. Here we go. See you next week. Bye-bye.